Welcome to Southwest Homestead. I'm Laura, and today I want to show you how to make an easy lemon curd. Lemon curd just tastes like summer to me. Spring, summer, this time of year I start craving fresh things, but even in the dead of winter, this can bring a little sunshine to your dark and dreary days. This is a simple recipe. It makes one batch of lemon curd, which is the perfect size for my husband and I. You can double the recipe. I filmed the entire process of making the lemon curd earlier today, and when I went to edit my video, I found, like so many creators do, that I missed an entire section of the filming. What I missed was my intro where I talked about lemon curd and the ways that you can use lemon curd. It's very versatile, it's very fresh, it's just a wonderful thing to have on hand. It'll keep for about 2 to 3 weeks in the refrigerator. There are recipes online for water bathing lemon curd, but this is going to be a refrigerated version. You can spread lemon curd on toast or scones. You can use it as a filling for cake or cupcakes. You can use it as a topping for pancakes or waffles. You can mix it into your yogurt or your oatmeal. You can use it as a filling for pastries or tarts. You can use it as a topping for cheesecake. There's so many other ways that I'm sure you could come up with to use lemon curd, but it's just a wonderful, fresh, zesty flavor. The first half of the video showed me zesting 4 lemons. Now, I won't bore you with the process of zesting, but you just scrape off the outer rind of the lemon. You want to just get that shiny yellow part. You do not want to go down to the white part of the lemon, which is called the pith, because that part is bitter. But this recipe calls for the zest of 4 to 5 lemons. So I will come back after I've zested the lemons. I'm going to add that in with my zest. And then it calls for 1 cup of sugar. Make sure that I'm doing this right. So I've got the lemon zest from 4 lemons. I've got 1/2 cup of juice and 1 whole cup of sugar. And I'm going to mix those in really well. And then I'm going to use my heat resistant glass bowl over this pan, and I'm going to create a makeshift double boiler. So I've created a makeshift double boiler with my glass bowl over a pan that's going to come to boil. And I want to just heat this up until it gets smooth and it can thicken enough to coat the back of a spoon. And like I said, this is a small batch of lemon curd. I've made much bigger batches where I was able to can like a dozen quarts, but I don't use it up in time, and so it's just not sensible for us to make that big of a batch. It's just my husband and I here. Sometimes I'll gift some out, but it's easier for me to make small batches like this. So you can see the water's heating up, and my mixture is heating up. And I'm just going to continue whisking until this thickens up enough to coat the back of a spoon. While that's heating up, I'm whisking together 4 of my farm fresh eggs. But you can use grocery store eggs, of course. Now before this gets too hot, I'm going to go ahead and whisk in these eggs. I probably should have done it when it was completely cold. I don't want the eggs to start to cook at all. But we're fine. This is going to work just fine. So I hope you can see this, but this is the mixture. Now what I'm going to do when all of this is complete, when this will stick to the back of a spoon, I will remove it from the heat, and then I stir in the butter. Once it's cooled down some, I'm going to strain this through a fine mesh strainer to get all the bits of egg that are solid and lemon zest out. I don't want this to overcook the eggs, so I'm going to turn that down just a little. It's normal for there to be some solid bits of egg, but those will be strained out in the final process. And I can already tell this is a very small batch. It's probably only going to make 1 pint. I've never used this recipe before, but you know, this is how we learn things. next time I would probably double it just to have my efforts be worth the time that I put into it. Have one for now, one for later, or one for us and one to give away. Everybody loves to get lemon curd as a gift. It's starting to get smooth and thicken, but I don't think we're warm enough to coat the back of a spoon yet. And I've got a spoon. Nope, we're not there yet. I'll bring you back when this is at the completion of the thickness. So it takes about 8 to 10 minutes to get to the level of thickness to coat your spoon. I probably could have gone a little bit more, but I didn't want to burn the eggs. And then you gradually start to stir in the 1/2 cup of butter that the recipe calls for. And I think the butter acts like it does when you make jam, and it reduces that foam on top. But I'm also going to strain this through a fine mesh sieve, so that will get out the foam, little bits of lemon zest that are left in there, any overly cooked pieces of egg that might have stiffened up, and we don't want any egg bits in there. We want it to be a nice, smooth, creamy curd. Get all that butter. So that's what it takes. 4 to 5 lemons, 4 large eggs, 1 cup of sugar, and 1/2 cup of butter. Now I will put this recipe in the description. It's so easy, so quick, and the flavor is amazing. What I like to do with this, my favorite way to use lemon curd, is to make a pound cake or buy a pound cake, and those Entenmann pound cakes are wonderful. And I slice the pound cake down the middle, horizontally, and then I spread a layer of the lemon curd, and then put the top back on the pound cake. And then when you let it chill, and when you slice it, you get this nice lemon layer in the middle of the pound cake that is just wonderful. I am hoping this is thick enough. There's a little concern on my part that this is not quite as thick as it should be, but I'm hoping as it cools it will thicken. So once I've got this butter completely mixed in, which it's just about there, I'm going to strain this curd through a fine mesh sieve. Yeah, as it sets up, you'll see it'll turn this most beautiful bright yellow color. This is a new recipe for me, but if it works, I'm really liking it because of how quick and easy it is. Okay, I do believe we're at the part where we can strain through a sieve. Still one little piece of egg, fertilized egg in there. That's okay, that's gonna get strained out right now. So this is my fine mesh sieve. I'm gonna make sure there's nothing in there. And I'm gonna pour my lemon curd through it. And that will strain out any bits of lemon zest, egg yolk, egg white, anything that we don't want in there. Get all that. Yeah, you can see the lemon zest is definitely in there. Oh, I think this is going to be wonderful. Seems there's that little tiny piece of fertilized egg or some particle off the outside of one of my shells, I'm not sure. Okay, now we've strained. That looks good. And last but not least, I'm going to pour this into my sterile jar. And I think I'm right. I think it's going to make just at 1 pint, which is actually a really nice size batch for my husband and I. A little more than the pint. But because this is going to go in the refrigerator, I am not canning this. It will keep for about 2 to 3 weeks in the refrigerator, and I'll bring you back and show you once it's set up what the curd looks like. I just want to show that the lemon curd is setting up very nicely. It's not completely done setting up, but it's turning into this lovely, thick, smooth spread that I'll be able to spread over my intended use, pound cake. But isn't that pretty? Super simple, super easy, just a fun little taste of summer. Thanks for visiting Southwest Homestead.